Picture waking up each morning already tense, your thoughts racing about overdue tasks, social conflicts, or the latest grim headline. Perhaps you check your phone and see a barrage of negative news or trivial dramas, and a familiar heaviness settles in your chest. Sound familiar? In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to feel that true emotional balance, equanimity, is out of reach. Yet, imagine meeting each day with a calm, steady heart that isn't overwhelmed by chaos or negativity. The Dalai Lama, one of the world's most revered spiritual figures, teaches that this sense of peace is not only possible, but also deeply practical, built upon compassion for ourselves and for others. In this video, we'll explore how the Dalai Lama's approach to compassion can foster genuine equanimity in modern life, helping us find a stable, warm-hearted center no matter the storm around us. The Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhism, traditionally recognized as the reincarnation of his predecessors. The current Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, was born in 1935 and identified at a young age as the 14th Dalai Lama. Known worldwide for his gentle humor and insistence on nonviolent dialogue, he received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1989 for his advocacy of compassion, peace, and understanding. Contrary to what some might think, the Dalai Lama's teachings aren't reserved for monks in isolated monasteries. His message of universal responsibility and kindness resonates with everyday people in stressful, fast-paced environments. He believes that if we cultivate compassion within ourselves, we can create genuine happiness, one that technology, status, or material success cannot replicate. Through consistent practice and mindful application, the Dalai Lama's insights can transform how we relate to our own minds and to one another. In a typical day, we juggle demands, work deadlines, family obligations, online interactions, often feeling as though we're on the verge of burnout. Our devices flood us with information, not all of it beneficial. We may pick up subtle judgments from social media or face negativity in comment sections. Even face-to-face, people can be short-tempered, easily hurt, or dismissive. The Dalai Lama observes that much of our emotional upheaval stems from fear, misunderstanding, and craving, the same roots identified in Buddhist teachings for millennia. We attach expectations to how we think life should go, then grow agitated when reality diverges. We dread not having enough success, approval, security, fueling stress and envy. We get lost in personal grievances, forgetful of our interdependence with others. In short, we lose equanimity, that stable, calm presence that can adapt to challenges without being undone by them. At the heart of the Dalai Lama's philosophy is compassion, not as a vague feeling, but as an active stance of understanding and empathy, shaped by the recognition that every being wants happiness and freedom from suffering. He often emphasizes interdependence. None of us exist in isolation. We rely on countless others for everything from food to emotional support, suggesting that caring for others also benefits ourselves. Universal responsibility. Because we're all interconnected, taking responsibility for our own emotions, actions, and well-being fosters a kinder, more peaceful society. Secular ethics. The Dalai Lama advocates principles like compassion, forgiveness, and tolerance that transcend any single religion, making them accessible to people from all backgrounds. Mind training. Cultivating a calm, compassionate mind through daily practices, like meditative reflection, builds resilience and emotional steadiness. He teaches that equanimity isn't about detachment from reality. Rather, it's about embracing it wholeheartedly, caring deeply while maintaining a balanced perspective. Let's look at two scenarios that illustrate how applying the Dalai Lama's approach can shift our emotional landscape. The stressed manager. A middle manager named Lisa struggles with a tense workplace. She's juggling deadlines, receiving complaints from her team, and feeling unappreciated. Initially, she responds by snapping at colleagues or ruminating on their perceived incompetence. After encountering the Dalai Lama's teachings, she tries a small change. Each morning, she spends a few minutes thinking kindly about each team member, reminding herself they too want peace and success. Gradually, she shifts from anger to empathy. As conflicts arise, she pauses, breathes, and listens more deeply. The team's tension eases, and Lisa finds her own stress less consuming. The overwhelmed parent. Jorge, a father of two, is exhausted from work plus household chaos. Each evening, he's on the verge of snapping at his kids' endless demands. Inspired by compassion-based ideas, he carves out a brief mindful break, closing his eyes to picture his children's innocent needs, acknowledging their frustrations. He approaches them with curiosity. "What's going on?" instead of erupting. This pivot to empathy fosters calmer communication and, in turn, a more peaceful family atmosphere. In both cases, compassion acts like a softening agent, inviting them to see beyond immediate irritations, forging deeper connections and reducing emotional volatility. Cultivating equanimity and compassion isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. The Dalai Lama often suggests morning intention. Upon waking, set the day's tone. May I be helpful to others? May I act with kindness and wisdom? This seeds compassion in your early thoughts before busyness floods in. Mindful breathing. Even a few minutes of slow, deliberate breathing refocuses the mind on calm awareness. If you feel tension creeping in, anchor on the breath and let thoughts pass without judgment. Tonglen, giving and receiving. A Tibetan practice where you visualize inhaling someone's pain, then exhaling relief or love toward them. It nurtures empathy by connecting you to others' struggles, dissolving the sense of separateness. Loving kindness, metta, meditation. Repeating phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be peaceful," "May we be well," expands your capacity to see everyone, yourself included, as deserving of compassion. Gratitude reflection. Spend a minute each evening noting moments of genuine warmth you witnessed or offered. Maybe a kind word from a coworker or a small gesture you made to help a neighbor. Such practices gradually rewire our default responses, turning knee-jerk anger or anxiety into measured empathy and equanimity. Some fear that being compassionate toward others means neglecting their own needs. The Dalai Lama emphasizes self-compassion as well. If you're depleted, you can't truly help others. Balancing outward compassion with self-kindness means recognizing personal limits. It's okay to say no or rest when your well-being is compromised. Forgiving yourself. Everyone stumbles. Approaching your failures with gentle understanding prevents self-loathing. Showing up fully. By taking care of yourself, body, mind, and spirit, you have more resources to give. Being strong doesn't mean ignoring your pain. It means acknowledging it and still choosing kindness. In this way, self-compassion and compassion for others become two sides of the same coin, each nurturing the other. We've all felt that surge of anger, a rude email, a betrayal, a traffic jam. The Dalai Lama suggests we see anger as an alarm, prompting us to look deeper. 1. Pause and reflect. Instead of venting, take a slow breath. Ask, what's really fueling my anger? Hurt pride, fear, or misunderstanding? 2. Perspective taking. The Dalai Lama encourages seeing from the other side. Maybe the person who snapped at you is dealing with hidden stress. Maybe they're short on compassion themselves. 3. Offer compassion. This doesn't mean justifying harmful behavior, but remembering that people often harm out of ignorance or pain helps you respond wisely, rather than fueling the fire. 4. Protect and forgive. Compassion doesn't mean enabling disrespect. Set boundaries if needed, but letting go of grudges fosters your own peace. Thus, anger transforms from a destructive force into a doorway to deeper empathy, or at least more even-handed conflict resolution. The Dalai Lama speaks often about universal kinship. If we keep compassion only for those we know, we remain blind to our shared humanity. Equanimity expands when we realize our choices impact countless strangers. Whether it's mindful consumption, volunteering locally, or simply offering a neighborly gesture, we contribute to a compassionate culture. This can counter the cynicism plaguing modern societies. Even small acts, holding a door, sharing a smile, donating to a cause, remind us how connected we are. The Dalai Lama sees global well-being as an extension of personal well-being. If our hearts are calm and compassionate, we radiate that energy outward, nudging social interactions toward kindness rather than hostility. So how do we keep the Dalai Lama's teachings alive amid daily chaos? Routine micro-practices. Slip mini compassion meditations between tasks, or do a short compassion pause after finishing a meeting. Consistency fosters a calmer baseline. Digital boundaries. Mindful tech use. Avoid jumping into social media drama or doom scrolling. If negativity arises, practice, "Let me wish them well," instead of fueling anger. Gentle self-check. If frustration spikes at work or at home, ask, "Am I losing perspective? How can compassion guide me here?" Over time, this reflex builds stable equanimity. Open conversations. Encourage friends or family to join in small compassion practices. A shared sense of empathy often blossoms into emotional support networks. Ultimately, the Dalai Lama's approach is about weaving warm-hearted mindfulness into the fabric of your routine. No grand gestures needed. Tiny daily shifts in perspective yield a profound cumulative effect. The Dalai Lama doesn't promise an end to suffering or a guarantee that no conflict arises. Rather, he offers a path, a lifelong commitment to viewing ourselves and others through the lens of understanding and goodwill. This path leads to equanimity, a sense of stability in the face of stress, negativity, or fear. Compassion isn't naive optimism. It's a deliberate choice to respond gently instead of aggressively, to remain open instead of closed off. And equanimity isn't passivity, it's active calm. By practicing compassion toward ourselves and the world, we strengthen our emotional core, anchoring in kindness rather than cynicism. In a frantic, unpredictable world, the Dalai Lama's teachings remind us that true peace can't be found in external accomplishments or fleeting pleasures. It's cultivated within, through empathy, care, and a willingness to see beyond our personal bubble. Over time, this approach dissolves tension, fosters deeper human connections, and grants us the steady heart we need to live gracefully amid chaos. Thank you for joining me on this journey.